I'm Mr. Olson and welcome to WHAP. Today's topic is Key Concept 1.1, Big Geography and the People of the Earth. Big geography just means that we're always focused on the big picture in this class and what's happening around the entire world. And the people of the earth means that today you're going to learn the story of how human beings came to populate the entire globe. In terms of time period, we're looking at the Paleolithic era. Paleolithic just means old Stone Age, and it's by far the longest time period in human history. It begins about 200,000 years ago and comes all the way up through about 10,000 years ago. Take a look at this really important map. It shows early human migration patterns. About 200,000 years ago, in Eastern Africa, modern human beings evolved, but they did not stay there. Their lifestyle was hunting and gathering. So as resources ran out in their local area, they had to migrate to new areas and look for new food. And you can see here, over tens of thousands of years, humans are going to slowly hunt and gather their way to the far reaches of the planet. Now this is during the last ice age, so there's a lot more land bridges. You can see they came up out of Africa across that big landmass that we call Eurasia in this class, came all the way down using land bridges and boats to populate Australia, and even the Americas by about 20,000 years ago. So it's during this Paleolithic period that human beings came to settle most places across the globe. Now clearly migration is a huge part of the story that we're going to be able to trace all the way up through today, where migration is a major global issue. The second key idea here is adaptation. Human beings adapt to their local environment, whether it's the desert, the tundra, or the savanna. They're able to manipulate their environment to be successful in all the different climates that the world has to offer. Human beings are going to start developing tools in this time period. It's called the Stone Age because it makes stone tools. They also use bones for tools. And fires also developed in this period. Human beings use fire to cook food and to scare away predators, so that becomes really, really important in this period. When you look at the social and political and economic makeup of societies in this period, they are something called egalitarian. Egalitarian just means they're much more equal-like. These societies are also organized around something called kinship-based groups. This means they follow the same bloodline. So we're not looking at kings or democracy or any of those ideas yet. These societies are nomadic, meaning they're always on the move, looking for new food sources. Now, you may be wondering, what do we use for evidence to try to understand these early human beings? The main source of evidence is archaeological. So we don't have any written records yet. We're looking at artifacts to try to piece together what life is like. Take a look at this Venus figure behind me. This is an example of early Paleolithic art, and it kind of tells us a lot about these societies, right? The fact that they were able to create this figure shows us that they were able to use tools to manipulate the environment. The fact that they took the time to make this figure shows us that they were religious people, right? These are polytheistic, religious humans. And the fact that it's a woman also shows us that women probably had a lot more cultural power than they do in societies throughout most of history. Beyond archaeological evidence, we also try to use contemporary hunter-gatherers for evidence. Even though by far most societies around the world today are agricultural and industrial, there are still some hunter-gatherers left. So anthropologists and historians look at these societies, the way that they organize themselves, and draw some parallels between what life was probably like during the Paleolithic period. So there you go, all the must-know information for Key Concept 1.1. Thanks for watching.